Alright everybody, welcome to the Spiel Nights live stream. Today it's all about zines and the Kickstarter, which my two co-hosts do not know anything about, so we will clue them in. As always, if you have anything for the chat, put it in the chat or scream it into the abyss. I am your host, Dungeon Boy Burnham. I am here with Dr. Butts, new to the channel. Give him a warm welcome. And of course, your beloved... What? Dragon Boy?
Draken.
Draken.
Do we need to go back at all? Because I was playing the audio of the show through the show.
Nope.
Keep moving.
Yeah, you're probably good, because you guys weren't live until I switched the screen, which I have done now.
But I have
we've peered so far behind the curtain.
Yes, but I have refreshed the page and I see your zine quest, and it even did this nice dissolving load.
Yes, high speed awesomeness.
That totally came through, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, the zine quest. Oh, this is somebody else's Kickstarter.
No, this is a Kickstarter event.
Oh.
Focusing on projects in the month of February to make zines focused on RPGs.
Dungeon Boy Burnham.
Yeah. What is a zine? That's a very good question. Actually, I'm going to pass it to Dr. Butts, because I think he has a good answer. We'll find out.
I have an answer. And, Jim, you may have not picked up on this delightful... But zine is just the second half of the word magazine. Did I just blow your mind?
Wow!
They're usually cute little kind of local punk rock magazine / comic books.
That's drawing on your comic book selling experience that you have.
No, that's just drawing on my I'm a cool guy
Probably
who knows stuff
punk rock experience. So
and I think this is a bit of an anachronism we're involved in, isn't it? Or
I think it is.
Yeah.
Hang on.
You've short-circuited my brain because I don't think that word goes there, but maybe it does. Okay, so Jim, there used to be a time called like the 70s and 80s, and there were all of these like punk rockers, and they basically made these cute little magazines that were like a quarter of a sheet of paper in size, and it was like 6 or 7 pages or like 8 or like however many, and it was just like dumb shit that they put together and like taped pictures on and drew pictures and wrote stories and made cute little magazines, and then Xeroxed a bunch, copied them, and then like mailed them around to their weird friends because they didn't have bulletin boards and forums. So punk rock dudes did that a lot, but also a lot of RPG enthusiasts. That is how they spread like game ideas. If they weren't, you know, TSR or some other actual publisher. If it was just like now we'd just make a blog post or a shitty YouTube video, but before you would have to mail a stupid thing across the world.
So this is like a harken back.
Yeah, we could call it that.
And you mentioned something about curry. Well, how does the curry get involved?
Okay, welcome. I'm just going to write welcome to the harken back. Okay, so curry. So here is the pitch for you guys. I like curry, I like zines, and I like Dungeons and Dragons, and other things too. I mean, I think I'm a cool guy.
Sure.
So what I've got going on is, what if we have a Kickstarter selling zines to make enough money to eat curry?
Okay.
That's basically it.
In. Sounds great.
I have
So-
one hesitation, which is talking about. Is this going to be like Indian curry, or Thai, or Japanese, or is it any curry we could possibly want?
Okay, so that's a good question. The curry that I'm going to get is Thai.
Okay.
And it
Well,
costs
that's only the first question. That's I mean, after that, then you've got your reds, your greens, your masman. So what's
mas okay, is
can work with?
the one I'm called that I order it looks like it says like musamum, but I might be pronouncing that wrong because I probably am.
I have a preference for that Indian yellow curry.
Okay. All right,
Or something.
hang on, I should be writing this down. Um
Masman curry comes from the word Mussulman, which is what people used to call Muslims because it didn't
Oh,
have.
because Muscle
Oh,
Man, which was short for Mohammedanism, right?
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
know that there used to be Mussulman and then eventually Muslim.
Yep, that you are correct. And-
Muslim curry.
And it's Islam and Muslim now, but they used to go by Mohammedism after the Prophet Muhammad, but that fell out of favor, and now it's kind of considered insulting. But
It's also a lot of syllables.
it's a lot of syllables in English, but in
Which is
Arabic,
the only language I ever want to hear. You get me? Yeah.
in Arabic, Muhammad is actually 4 letters.
It's more convenient.
that is a lot more convenient.
And,
Phonetic or like why? How is it?
well,
If you care,
yeah, because you have so what in Arabic there are long vowels and short vowels, and Muhammad is all short vowels. So those are just diacritical markers, so they're just basically omitted. So it's just ma-ha-ma-da, and then there's sukun at the end. So it's Muhammad, and then all of the letters are connecting letters, so they literally form one word. So people, that's just a thing you now know.
I appreciate this wisdom. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
But is it come the time where I pick my curry?
Yeah, you need to pick your curry, and if you know how much it costs at the place that you like it, you could tell us that number too.
You know, there's such a cornucopia. I hate to be a copycat, but I'm gonna go also with yellow curry with chicken and taters.
Ah, yes. I will do something very similar. I will do yellow curry with chicken and rice.
Oh,
Okay. With chicken. Oh, I wrote chicken and curry. That's dumb. And rice. Do you know how much that costs at the curry place that you like?
Boy, I actually make my own curry, so it's a combination
This
of
guy.
like 8 different spices.
Interesting.
So, yeah, high upfront cost, but then it goes down.
Shit, you might have to be a stretch goal. Dr. Butts, do you know how much your curry costs?
I'd say not more than $12.
$12. Okay. All right. You want to give us an estimate on your curry cost?
Yeah, I think $12 is an appropriate close cost.
$12.
You're saying the curry you make is worth $12, Jim? That's a bold statement.
It is bold, but also delicious.
Okay.
Or should I say draka? Is that
I
correct?
think it's Draken. It's a German word. It's the German word for dragon.
It's also a pretty weak sauce Super Nintendo game.
Is it? I did not know that.
Check it out sometime, Drac.
All right. I'll have to check out my wheat sauce.
I think it may have been one of like the launch titles.
Oh, really?
But
So
you
it's
were-
got to be pretty weak sauce then.
No.
You were a party
Super
of
Mario
like
World? Go on.
Wait, what about Super Mario World?
I was just saying, Todd said weak launch titles, but I was like, hello, Super Mario World was not a weak launch title.
Todd's real sassy about that because he likes Mario 3 better.
Hey, that is true.
Hashing that out over and over.
It's been a while since that has been hashed, but
I'll never forget it.
this is not about hash. It's about curry.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, that's my
very
super wit.
I have Googled it. It's Draken with 2 Ks, and it looks like a bad graphic art video game.
I think it was a PC game that translated very poorly to the Super Nintendo.
Yes, it was like ported. It was ported.
Okay, so we currently have 4 viewers, and I assume 3 of them are us. So
Hey, what's up, Mystery Force person?
welcome to the show, Mystery
Her name
Force.
is Deborah.
It's like a high quality name.
Yeah.
Well, that way we just have someone to refer to.
Anyway, okay, I think that we've gotten the curry orders out of the way.
Okay.
But
It's very, very funny game.
okay, cool.
I think I learned about it from watching Donkey.
I don't know what Donkey is, but that sounds great.
Oh,
I scared Deborah away.
these graphics are hilarious looking.
But you don't have to make fun of the game, Jim. All right.
No, it's great. I'm looking at. Yeah, no, I'm enticed.
I bet Picasso felt really good when people called his art hilarious.
It's like this injured bearded man on a motorbike. He's in a lot of pain. Oh, the miserable journey of a broken man. Okay, that's the tagline for the game. Oh yeah, I'm definitely. Oh,
you're a sad drug addict trying to find your ugly daughter.
Rated M for drugs, alcohol, sexual themes, violence, language, and disturbing images. So, and there's shopping cart races. Oh my god,
There's a lot going on. And
Oh
I
my
think
God.
this is a good basis for our first zine, or whatever we're doing.
yeah,
Which
I am
brings us
definitely
to the decisions. Number 1, what is content? What are we going to put in this thing?
Gonna slang some 10?
What?
Producing content. We're gonna slang 10.
Wow. Now, usually, I'm trying to think of what the lyrical. There's a rhetorical device. It's the. What do you call it when you're? Oh my God! It's a creative writing thing. Writing prompts. Prompt. Todd. I mean, Dungeon Boy Burnham. Have you prepared prompts to spark creative discussion?
Yes.
The curry.
Okay. Yeah, the curry. Here are the choices. Here are zine theme ideas for Kickstarter Zine Week 2019 RPG Edition. Number 1, we could talk about Dungeons and Dragons and make a zine about NPCs.
Okay.
All
There's
right.
one idea.
NPCs. We could do the same thing, only it's about, like, magic wands. Magic wands.
Are you
And
saying, like, in a non-trademark Harry Potter kind of way?
I mean, that's the first thing that came to mind.
yes.
Okay.
Number
Harold
3.
Hudson.
Number 3, and I don't know, number 1, if there is intellectual property involved in this one, and number 2, I don't know if we own it, and number 3, I don't know if we have to feed more people curry.
All legal. Go on.
But we could make a zine that explains the rules to a game I like to call Fight Planet.
planet.
Which basically you show up on a planet and everybody else on the planet is a criminal like you, and you have to fight people to get off the planet, and you get enough points and you get off the planet. And it's a
All right.
TV show.
Gotta put down fight planet. Okay. All right. So I would say
That one would be a whole new system.
remember, we're in brainstorming mode. No
Right.
idea is a terrible piece of shit.
Except for the 3 that I listed.
No. So brainstorming mode, all ideas are open here. So what I am kind of thinking is, you know, there's going to be a lot of zines, right? What is something where just from the headline or the title alone would be like, I have to click on this.
Anime boobs.
Sure. Anime boobs would certainly generate clicks. But something that's like, I just gotta have it, and I can plug it right into my current ongoing D&D game.
A way that I haven't already answered this question was my last suggestion.
Anime boobs?
Oh yeah. But what would you suggest?
So this is why, okay. It's the pressure of the live stream, Todd.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also
Bad idea. Spit it out. Just go with what your heart tells you.
Let's just go with it. All right. Something that people would love to know: how does the mail work? Postal system.
Not a bad idea. Keep going.
I'm into this.
Postal systems. Let's see here. The economics of toll roads. No. Oh, sheep movement.
Wait.
Like shepherds, sheep transport. How
Oh.
one acquires sheep.
Flock management.
This isn't a hard no, but it's a table that part.
Yeah, because people are in need of sheep to send into dungeons for slaughtering.
I
or
think
something.
you are actually the only. Well, there's probably others. You were the only dungeon master who has had a party that is tending to a giant flock of domesticated animals and
Sure.
like delivering them to weird places.
Sure. Okay.
Like,
Maybe part of the problem is that market hasn't been adequately promoted.
all right, so I'm gonna mark down one called Flock Management, aka City Slickers 2: The Search for Curly's Gold.
All right, very good. Oh, and this is a small, not to get too distracted, but does the screen, Dr. Butts, does the screen on the YouTube, like the Excel spreadsheet, does it look blurry to you?
Intentional masking effect or something.
Yeah, it's kind of all like, it's like all blurry.
Okay, YouTube was giving me a warning at one point. I don't see it right now, but they were like, "Hey, dipshit, we're not getting enough data."
Oh, I see.
So that might be my bad.
Yeah, I can. Oh, and I can. Yeah, the quality's on the. Yeah, so you know what? I put the quality on the low, so I bet if I bumped it up. Oh, I bumped up the quality on the settings. That works much better.
Oh, okay. Now I did send you guys a link to stuff you should be able to edit. I see the green person is already doing that.
Bam. Oh, looks fantastic. Okay. So, postal. All right.
Oh wait, I'm the green person.
Oh. It's
Hey.
only brainstorming. It's only brainstorming. But
If this spreadsheet is legible, there are 2 words on it I'm not seeing.
Oh,
Dungeons and Dragons criminal procedure.
okay. D&D.
You've been arrested and you have to go to trial, right? What are your various options?
So,
One clearly is trial by combat.
okay. Actually, okay, when you say that makes that sound a lot better.
A skateboarding RPG where you have to develop cool skills and tricks.
Yeah.
So you can take on the grisly punk rock underworld.
Okay.
Ooh, and like maybe like we pick one spell out of the player's handbook, and like how do we abuse this as much as possible?
I think we make it magical realism kind of thing. Like, yeah, they're skateboarders. They're skateboarders that have elbow pads that shoot lightning, alright?
The skateboarder player class.
No. We could do that. I was thinking different player classes of skateboarders. Like, skateboarder would be your species. You can work within that framework.
Now, is skateboarder okay? So is skateboarder punk RPG? That is a different game than Dungeons and Dragons, correct? Or you? It sounds like Jim. I mean,
They're different games.
okay. That's
Dude,
what
they
I
have
thought.
to be.
But it sounded like Dragon Boy's interpretation was the same game.
Was same game, Dungeons and Dragons, but with skateboards. D&D, but with skateboards. Right?
Like
Who the
half
fuck
pipes
was-
and dragons.
But with destiny.
Oh God! But with D&D, but with put that down. D&D, but with there's like so many words. D&D, but with ponies. D&D, but with red. You know, D&D, but with opioid addiction. It's just so many. D&D, but with rainbows.
All right, I've got D&D, I've got but with on there for you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Good.
Your guys' butt width.
What would you could do like a class variant that would like make people laugh, like D&D classes of the like your plumber class or your
Is it your plur class?
plumber.
Oh, okay, cool. I also recommend plur then.
So yeah, you could have your plumber class, your administrative management class, D&D cubicle style. Yeah.
I think there's a channel on YouTube that like has a skit for every like D&D cubicle style, D&D sports edition, D&D I don't know, punk edition, D&D chainsaw edition.
What about if that's been done already? Like, God, do you have obscure computer programming jokes?
Oh, good gravy.
No.
No?
What's the next step? And how would you respond to whatever he was about to say?
D&D C++ are, and I'm not sure I want to go with that. But you could talk about fields and childs and stuff.
Like
Ooh,
what?
child support in Dungeons and Dragons.
That would be funny.
If it were a programming D&D game, instead of having characters, you just have chars.
That's
I'm gonna go jump off a cliff now.
If you multi-class, you have a varchar.
This is the worst thing. We are people.
Okay. Jim, what did you say before we made those jokes? It was like
Did I say?
no, Dragon Boy said something.
Draken. Draken.
Draken. What did you just say?
The programming RPG?
Before that, he said something like the Administrator's Guide.
Like the administrative manager's D&D, something like that?
Cubicle, right? Your D&D plumber class, your D&D middle management.
So what if we just made like some kind of a dumbass little like career guide for D&D characters?
Yeah. Um, God, and like, but they would be like, remember, they'd be like epic heroes, but with like the most absurd jobs or hilarious jobs. Or something like that.
Oh, so we'd have to be funny.
Yeah, it's gotta be like hilarious.
All right, I'll check the chat to see if anybody thinks we're funny.
Janitors of D&D.
Oh, we're down to 3 watchers.
Yeah, we lost one. Okay.
What about you, Dragon Boy? What would you like to see?
What would I like to see?
Dragon Boy, excuse me.
I would like to see skateboarding RPG and like some sweet skills. But the thing is, we have to make it so that it will be successful enough to get curry,
Right.
but not so successful that we have to start a company selling zines like for the rest of our lives.
I think you can be rest assured we will be unable to reach the ladder.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
like, we're pretty funny.
I mean, skateboarding, man, how to do sweet tricks. Half pipe, Dungeons and Dragons.
I already started thinking about different character classes and
Yeah.
jobs like poser, shredder, or something like that.
Poser and Shredder are a good one.
Yeah.
Shameless promoter. That's a good one. That's A1. That's one of them.
I'm a hardcore mosher.
Yeah. Yes. Mosher. Yep. Mosher. Poser. Mosher.
Kind of your classic fighter, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Really good at not falling over in the middle of rowdy crowds.
Now, is this skateboarder RPG or punk rock RPG?
I think they're the same thing. Also, maybe I need to learn a few more things about skateboarding if this is going to work.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to really get up on our skateboarding knowledge.
Kickflip.
But really, yeah, just like something that is appealing and something you can just you can drop right into a D&D campaign, because it would be fun. Like,
Okay, are we limited to D&D style or
No, anything you want.
no, not limited to D&D.
Which is why Fight Planet would work perfectly, because it'd be like 4 sheets of paper, and that would be it.
Tell us more about Fight Planet, then.
All right, so Fight Planet, it uses D12s, and the reason it uses D12s is because they are the dice that looks the most like a pair of balls.
Oh boy. So like a decade ago, maybe? Todd and I and our pals had a really dumb idea, and with it, and mature and wiser, we really flesh out Fight Planet.
Wait, you guys invented Fight Planet already?
Yeah,
Sort of.
yeah, sort of. So
I think Dungeon Boys told you roughly as far as we've gotten.
that is as far as we've gotten. So
Amazing.
Concept.
back when I guess all three of us lived in the same town, there was like a
Also far away now.
group of people. Yeah, same town, let alone the same state. There's a group of people that got together and like this dumb joke was made, and then we talked about making like a rule book for it. The joke went for like 2 weeks, and then everybody moved away and forgot it, except it has lived in my brain for 10 goddamn years.
Wow. Okay. So what happens in so Fight Planet? You had described it earlier. You're a criminal. You've been transported to a planet with a bunch of other criminals, and you have to fight for survival.
Right. And every time you like off somebody, you get a point. And
Okay.
then you get like half of their points or something like that. And then you I don't know. Or maybe it's maybe not half. That seems like a lot.
No, like you're like tagged, right? You're given some sort of like stamp tattoo or amulet that's crunched to your body, and when you whack them, you get to take their amulet juice or something, right?
Yeah, I mean that's probably like way too complex. You could just say
Yeah.
points.
Let me add another layer then, which is, have you guys played the video game Pyre?
No.
No.
Have either of you played Bastion? By like super
Yes.
giant game. So it was their this was their third game after Transistor, and there's a mechanic in it where all your characters are trying to level up so they can ultimately like earn salvation and get out of this purgatory that they're trapped in.
Mm-hmm.
To a high enough level to be redeemed and go back above ground. That character is out of the gate. A spot where you want them for story purposes and for gameplay purposes to keep improving, and then they improve to a point where and you have to just get by with the rest of your team. And I said, what if we did something like that, except it does so well that they get to go off planet, but they're still somehow able to contribute from off planet. I don't know.
Okay. Interesting.
There was a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Why is Fight Planet fun to play?
Whoa. Hey, let's get to that later.
Besides the obvious, you mean?
Oh, I know there's D12s that look like balls. What else should I know?
Character
We could
creation.
be real dumb and broy and put like drinking rules in it.
We sure could.
Wow. Just any D&D drinking rules would be a seller.
Actually, that's drinking. God damn it, Jim. Yeah, let's do that. Put rules with a Z. Shit, what were we even... Oh, Fight Planet. Character creation is like stupid simple. You roll your pair of D12s, and like those are your stats. And then, I don't know, toughness and speed in that order, or whatever.
Right. Like something like 4 stats, random, maybe a little bit of strategy, and then boom. And you have to
What are our stats going to be? Because one of them, I'm telling you right now, has to just be nuts.
Yeah!
Oh my god!
God,
Nuts.
God.
Okay, nuts.
Nuts, mean.
You guys played Mass Effect?
No.
Man, I can't remember the species, but they're basically like these kind of big, gnarly rhino-looking dudes. their characteristics is the males have 4 testicles, which they refer to as their quad. And
Hey, Gubby, sorry for interrupting. Gubby the pug wants to know, can you become a necromancer?
this?
Oh.
Fight Planet?
He could. I would. Absolutely.
See,
Absolutely.
that's something you could do is if you get killed,
Right.
I don't
instead of
know.
just being out of the game then, you get recycled.
I don't know if.
You should turn off the 30-second delay if you can, Todd.
Oh, that. You know, I think I could, but I think I would have to like restart the stream in order to do that.
All right. Well, we'll know that for the future. But okay, Fight Planet. All right, we got nuts. We got mean.
Nuts and guts.
Oh yeah, nuts, guts, butts, and I don't know.
All right. Then they go to a town. Let's see here. What's this? Then go to a town.
He is proposing ideas for zines, which I think is, I think it is worth the brainstorming consideration. So, basically, necromancer, claim souls, raise an army. Good idea.
Okay, as a separate as a zine that is its own standalone game.
As one of the zine ideas.
Okay, bitchin'.
But let's put that down. But then back to Fight Planet. So yeah, nuts, guts, definitely butts.
HP. I don't.
Is there a 4th stat that would work?
Nuts, butts, guts, and guns.
Oh yeah. Futs. Hold on, I'm going through my alphabet. Butts, cuts. Cuts? No, cuts.
I think if you change the order of the words, they flow better. If you're like nuts, guts.
Nuts.
It sounded so good in my head 10 seconds ago.
This
and
was
I
not
really
the live
regret
stream
everything.
that I was expecting.
Huts. Huts.
Huts?
Quats. Ruts. Tuts.
Pus?
Zuts. Yuts.
One thing you need to know right now is you can't quantify pus.
It just is.
Boy, and guts and butts are quite. They seem that draw from a similar.
Oh. What about guns and buns?
Oh,
Nuts,
damn.
guts, guns, and buns. And what are the stats?
Buns, buns, guts, nuts.
Yeah, but right. I mean, definitely. Okay, so we might only need 3. We might need 4, but essentially, the roles these would play is, what you're gonna have some, because it's gonna be like this balancing, right? It's gonna be like semi rock paper style, right? Because we're going for simple and mean. And
I don't want to sidetrack us too much, but with 50% of the stats being related to genital areas, I find this also being a game that is highly sexual.
shit.
So you continue, but I need that to be folded into wherever we go
Yes.
from here on.
Yes, I that is that the context is very important now. All right. Oh, butts. Yeah, nuts, guts, butts, and guns. That's good. Good. So yeah, so they have these. So it's sort of like some stats will be good against characters with other stats, and then they have to like. There's got to be things on the planet, right? Like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
know-
yeah, like the vending machines that hand out like high-powered ammunitions and stuff.
Right. The Rick and Morty fruits, right? That juice you up or anything like that. But yeah. Oh yeah, like energy drinks or vending machines or high-powered protein bars or something like that.
Bruno.
Definitely. And then yeah, I like this. Okay, so
All right, so how about this for a game mechanic? Okay, so you've got your I don't know what nuts and guts are,
yeah, we'll figure that out.
but like okay, let's say your guns is your attack, okay, so you make your character, you roll 4d12, and then you just
Yeah.
put them on those in order. You don't even get a pick, or you do, or whatever. You put them
Sure,
on,
sure.
and then you want to make an attack, so you roll a d12 and add that to your guns score.
Yeah. And like maybe all fights start off with bust the guns. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. We're out of ammo. Time for brawl. Going. Pow, 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 pow. Right.
Like, can there be a recording every time somebody opens up the zine? That's what comes out.
That's where the money's going to come from, is the digital cards.
Merchandising.
So, I think maybe nuts could be roughly comparable to like a charisma stat. I don't know.
No, I
You're
like
able to negotiate better, and
right. You might be able to get like a higher score in nuts could get you the better environmental tools or something, right?
yeah, and it could like factor in too, where you could like do better if like in intimidation challenges or something, or if
Yeah.
even like some sort of like element to it.
Yeah, and maybe
Feel traditionally
like-
masculine. Pre-Gillette ad.
right. And maybe you could maybe if you roll a low score, there's like a balancing thing. Like if it's below a certain number, you get like the bang it out special quality or something.
Huh.
Something that could give
I
you
like the modifier being, you know, you won't last long, and you will have to roll up a new character in 3 minutes.
I like that one too. So that means there could actually be multiple fighters from Fight Planet, and I
What if
like
you
it.
had a stock of characters instead of just a character?
Yeah, or you
A little
right?
mini
Like,
army.
yeah, you have to like, you have this group of people, and they're all randomly rolled, so you never know when you're getting a crapshoot or not. But I like the idea is if you play to your strong stats, and it kind of helps out, but it's still really really simple and straightforward. So,
Okay, what if we got the nuts, butts, guts, and guns or whatever. What if we come up with like, let's just say a dozen, because there's 12 sides to a d12.
Okay.
A dozen things like that: the nuts, the guts, the buns, and then you roll 3d12 to find out which stats you get. So like you are assigned buns and guns, and that is your score or whatever. And so the fight master has to balance. Okay, this guy's using nuts versus trucks, and whoever wins.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, we'll have to figure out how it works because you want to keep it straightforward and simple. Would there be? Here's another question: would there be a fight master, or would it be just all players going at it, or would the fight master set up environment stuff? Or what do you think there'd be a role with that?
I mean,
Something to move the game along, unless we're like switching to make like a board game or something.
Because it does sound like a board game.
Does. I think if we want this to be like a real RPG, we need a
Yeah.
dimensional world.
Yes.
Can't just dive into the stats. We need to figure out why are these people here? What kind of interactions would we want to see?
That's right. What is life like on Fight Planet? Right, because you're right. If there's too much concentration, then it would become basically a board game. But if it's a zine game, then Fight Planet has stuff going on.
Yeah. Like if you were to say Dungeons and Dragons is a traditional I guess that's it. Like traditional high fantasy kind of game, like
Yeah.
Fight Planet be.
Right.
What's its genre, if anything, if it has one?
What is the
Is that-
genre of Mad Max and Death
I
Cab
mean,
and that kind of thing?
It's post-apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic sci-fi, right? Would be that.
You can have
So-
any magic, or is it?
I don't know.
I haven't been imagining magic, but I don't know.
I think there's it sounds like there's a sci-fi aspect of Fight Planet because you have to be you're transported. There's probably space travel. There's probably technology.
Yeah, I think there would have to be that.
Yeah. So that could be an aspect of that.
If it's just crude, junky technology, kind of like surviving on the Earth, I wouldn't suggest that simple, but
Right.
ship or something.
It's like all the old tech that we send to, like, the kids in China to melt down in their, like, cooking pots.
Right. All the
It's travel possible, but your ship might break open and you'll be immediately frozen solid and explode or whatever.
Right. Everybody's using. God, even my metaphor is outdated. But like, all the higher ups are using, Windows 10, 12, and we're on like Windows 95 or something.
Speaking of, if your metaphor is outdated, you should upgrade to a Meta 5.
That metaphor is really outdated. Windows is just barely hanging on. But yes, I like that. That's really good, Dick.
I think that was such a dad joke that I just had a child.
Thick bird.
Someone's gonna call me in 15 minutes ago, but we need to talk.
You are late on child support. They're gonna take your claim to the zine. Jesus.
All right. I like Fight Planet. There's a lot of good stuff to work with, but it sounds like a big project, don't you, Boyfriend? So, do you want to make an entire universe, or do you want to make a quick zine that gets you curry?
I would like to keep the scope to the curry, but so here, let me flip back to the other spreadsheet. And do you guys have access to the spreadsheet? I sent you guys links in your email or whatever. That way you can see it in real time if you'd like.
Got it. I'm going there right now.
Otherwise, it will load on the screen in a few minutes. But what we'll have to figure out is, of course, who does what.
Yep.
And if we okay, so the basic goals are right now 3 pots of curry. If we need other people to do other people's stuff, then now we have to have more pots of curry.
Sure.
If we make something that's like a quarter sheet of paper, there's not a whole lot that we need. The what I have listed on there as dumbass stapler is like the only piece of hardware that we would really need, because you need to get one that it has a long enough reach and does what they call a saddle stitch.
There's a model.
Right?
There's a model.
Yeah.
I'm thinking also this seems like something a print shop could do, unless you want to be that DIY about it.
If you're talking saddle stitches, get that print shop in there.
That is, we could do that.
It'd be more punk rock.
The zine, harkens back to the days of yore, which was in the 80s.
Well, your family's putting them together. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, you guys don't have to do shit except for get content and tell 5 people to buy a stupid zine.
Yeah.
So
because they're gonna want fight. I can feel the demand. I mean, we got Gubby the pug already invested. Also, he has suggested a very reasonable necromancer harvest a soul idea. That's also appreciated. So I could work. is because you got. I mean, in terms of content need, right? If it's going to be a role playing game and not just a board game, there's going to need to be that environment of Fight Planet and how people live on Fight Planet and what they do. Oh, like Fight Planet equipment and buffs, I guess, would have to be something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
But I can, you know what? I'm kind of intrigued. I'll volunteer on figuring out that combats, that stat and combat system.
Okay.
Stat and combat, and I there might be. I don't want to make it too complicated, but there may be like things you do with combat, stats for combat and stats for role-playing stuff, and they might be interconnected, but I'm not quite sure yet, so I'm going to think about it. But the idea is to keep it. We've got guts, nuts, butts, and guns so far. Okay, so I'm going to try to think of a stat system, and you're like thinking with Fight Planet, you know, we're all mean, we're all bad dudes, but we got spunk and charm.
Right, spunk and funk.
Some more stats.
So like here, like the question would be, so if you are on Fight Planet, and you know the punk rocker plays his big concert, and then he gets shot down in a hail of meteor bullets or whatever, and there's a big mass mosh pit riot, and you beat everybody else up,
Riot!
and you crawl onto the stage, and you take the guitar off the lead rocker's immolated, smoldered body, and now you have the white, red punk guitar of godness, right? This is now your equipment, your treasure. Would it affect a stat, or would it just go? So that'll have to be something to think about.
All right, yeah, that's a good question.
Okay.
I'm leaning hard towards win now.
Got it. Okay.
So now the thing about this is, you know, we're only gonna have like 8 quarter sheets of paper or so. So we this whole thing.
Yeah, this is good. Tell us. I think spatial limitations will actually increase creativity. So.
Yeah.
What is it we want to ultimately produce? Is it gonna be
curry?
No, that's the reward.
Like, is it going to be not? Yeah. Well, no, you're right. Sorry. Is it going to be a pitch? Is it going to be a description of the world? Is it going to be those things? What do we want it to be?
That's a good question.
I mean, I guess. So we're gonna need the chunk of rules. You kind of cut out at the minute or at the very last second of that. So we need the rules of combat and interaction, and probably a description, like a paragraph. Welcome to Fight Planet. You're a loser. They're a loser. We are losers all. And then, create a character, and then maybe a couple of the quarter pages as like scenarios or something like that might occur.
Kind of things you would encounter on Fight Planet.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Good. I like that. Okay. All right. So. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'll. That sounds kind of interesting.
Okay.
About a simple system, and it would be something this would be easy to make NPCs also, right?
Right.
Go at it. But you like D12s because balls, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be D12s. All right, that's a
That
non-negotiable.
is non-negotiable.
You got it. Got it. D12s it is.
Just every time you have to make a roll for any purpose, you just blast a bunch of nuts onto the table, and you're just like, read them and weep, boys, and also women, because it's a very one gender heavy game, but it is for everybody.
Oh,
And
I
nuts
had,
are gender neutral.
oh my god.
Gender neutral.
had-
You got nut score 7.
I just had a great idea. Great idea. Just an idea. So, right, your scores are like totally random, right? So you could have things that are like you're terrible at, right?
Right.
But
Tell me about it.
so you will come across items or equipment in the world, and essentially the item will have that stat. So you can use that stat instead of your shitty stat, but you have to use it within the context, right? So, if you're going to use, if you really need a good guts or a good butts, you have to, like, jam it out on the guitar, right? Like, no, 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 no. You have to somehow use that to accomplish your task.
Okay, so like you have a little bit different, but how about this? You have your butt score, and you have the guitar nut score, and then you roll 1d12, add the 3 of those, and that's your nut.
That sounds, yeah, it could be that.
I just want to take a step back. There's been a lot of focus on this guitar in a game that is primarily about guns. And is this a different game that we're trying to make all of a sudden? As to the guitar portion,
like we're stuck in the punk rock skateboard world, half pipes and dragons.
maybe we combine those worlds.
You are correct. It is a guts. It is a guns game where you have to shoot a lot of people. That is true.
But they're hardened
guitars and
criminals.
stuff in it. It's just,
Yeah.
but that was becoming your go-to example.
You had to rein me back in there. I understand.
I think you really just like going one and I'm not going to
so
discourage that.
Yeah, I like it when he does that too.
It could be a combined. Well, I guess combining 2 numbers in a roll, that might be okay. Or it could just be a substitute or something. So I'll think about that. But you got to keep it really simple and straightforward. But also allow for creativity. And like the idea is you roll it and then you're like, this is what my character's like. Oh, and I don't want to get it too complicated, but you could have high numbers be good, but maybe you could have low numbers be good too.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. Like,
Both
there's
ends
big
simultaneously good, or are you saying instead of the other?
I don't know yet, but it could be dependent on the situation. So sometimes having a small butt would be really good instead of having a big butt. I can't think of a situation where that would apply. But
Tell me about it.
Or having a small butt would apply? Are you trying to sneak through the crack?
Yeah, see through the crack, right? Right. It's good to have a tight butt.
Maybe butt should be charisma.
What if the higher you score, the higher your roll, I mean, the powerful and accurate your attack is? Well, no, that's more accurate, more precise, gets done what it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Down in the critical fail area, it becomes way more powerful but unpredictable. Like if you do another roll,
Ooh.
and if you get somewhere in the middle, your 6s and 7s, then you're just that's a fine roll,
Oh, okay.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
You
that.
want the extremes on either end, depending on your character type.
Yes. I agree.
Oh, what's that stupid golf game that we used to play?
Shots?
Yeah.
The online one?
I don't even remember.
There's like a flash one or something like.
It must have been the Flash one.
Had Papel.
Yeah, where you could
I'm gonna
be
find that right now.
you could be like, yeah, and that's the last we hear of him. You could hit it really hard, but where the fuck's it gonna go? Or you could hit it bang on, and it's more accurate, but less kapow. I don't know.
And then that way too, if you had like positive and negative modifiers, like a wild guy, you want him to have some negatives in there to make his attacks wackier.
Yeah.
He's done with bricks, and so he doesn't look when he shoots. It's like 4 attacks to anyone else's 1 attack, but it's not necessarily going to be good.
I like that. You know, so maybe if we did have one of the pages of our zine be like roll for random weird shit that is associated to your character, because if you have to roll up a new character every 12 minutes, you don't want, like, nobody's gonna think of like interesting stuff fast enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like a personality court table.
Yeah, we can't call it that on Fight Planet though, but yeah.
Totally. Sweet. Sweet. No, we've been talking for about an hour and a half, and I have to, like, Draken has to use the bathroom now, so.
All right. Well, let's say our closing. Is it an emergency? Can we do closing remarks? Go offline, have a little recap, and then you can go poop.
Prepare a speech.
Yes. Let's do it.
Okay. Anybody have any closing thoughts? It sounds like Fight Planet the Zine is for real.
Yeah, we're doing it.
I think that's that.
I just didn't realize. I mean, I'm inspired. It's the culmination of a dream, and now I get to share in your dream, mutual dream.
It's pretty fucking cool.
Welcome to our dream space.
Welcome
I
to our
love it.
imagination world.
Guns.
Yeah. Nice.
We were really cool in our 20s.
Never stop being so cool.
Clearly. All right. The art for this is going to be awful, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. How is that art going to be done?
Well, it depends on if we want to get somebody else some curry.
I have absolutely zero skill with. So,
Yep.
just want to put that right out front.
Yep, I also.
Anything that I draw looks like a Simpsons guy if the artist had no talent and was on LSD.
Okay. So you're definitely going to want to hire.
Either it's going to be real wacky or we're contracting out.
Yep.
That's,
Yep. No. That's the rule.
that's basically what we're saying.
Yep.
Okay, so everybody, thank you very. Did you have more words?
Oh no, I was just saying I will think of a stat combat system, but I think, you know, I'm stuck on guitars and punk rock, so I'll need other people to create that beautiful sweet world.
Okay, and we'll figure out how many pages this thing will be and that kind of stuff later on. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching, which was 2 different people popped in throughout the stream, so this is a new record. We've beat the old one by 2.
Yes.
And, thank you very much, Dr. Butts and Draken, for joining me here today. If you guys are interested in the Kickstarter, when and if it happens, and getting yourself into Fight Planet the Zine, leave a comment down below, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell, all of that stupid stuff that the assholes on the internet tell you to do.
Yep.
It really helps our self-esteem, and that's kind of what we need in this world. Otherwise, we make fight planets.
Good.
So, thank you very much for joining. Catch you on the flip side.